Good afternoon, and welcome to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. I am, of course, KG, Chris Gardner. I'm a few moments late because I was reading the article by Tom Habistro on Yahoo Sports about Michael Jordan's 1987-88 Defensive Player of the Year award and has some discrepancies with the stats. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. But you're watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, and of course, also courtesy of the BS3 Network. You can watch BS3 on Roku if you have a Roku streaming device. Just download BS3 TV. If not, just go to bs3network.com or bs3tvlive.com. I'm going to get into it. Got to get work done on my car momentarily after the show, so give me the comments, questions, thoughts on the finals and Boston winning title number 18. I want to play this early on, but of course, you're watching this show on Facebook, Twitter, Fire TV, Twitch, and of course on YouTube, the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Click on that shop button, buy you a mug, click on that dollar sign, and make a contribution for a super chat, super sticker, but also buy you a mug, buy you a cap. Support the Houston Roundball Review that way. And of course, if you're new to the show, welcome. Don't be a stranger. Tell your friends about it. A few weeks ago, that YouTube channel of the Houston Roundball Review surpassed 5 million total views. So if you are interested in advertising, email me at advertise@thehrr.com. I want to play a clip. I'm going to play a clip from head coach Kelvin Sampson from last Thursday's media session. Toward the end of the media call. It's about 3 minutes long. Had some Wi-Fi issues. So there are a few seconds where you don't hear Coach Sampson. You just see his mouth moving, but nothing comes out. That's on the UHN, not my end. But it's a message to Houston Cougars alums, but it's also a message to fans and supporters of big-time college athletics. Here we go. Check it out.
A learning experience, I think, for our fans and our coaches and our student athletes, that you just don't jump into Big 12 and think that you're on the level playing field with these teams. That's why we need to continue to build our donor support. We need to make some hard decisions on brick and mortar versus NIL. Things that we didn't have to think or worry about 5 years ago. 5 years ago, you said, what's it going to look like in 5 years? Well, it's here, and here's what it looks like. Okay, what's it going to look like 5 years from now? The guys that can figure out what the where the road is going and be forward thinkers and get outside the box. Don't get in a bunker and put your hands over your head, worried about getting hit. Get your ass out there and fight. Figure out how we're going to win this battle. To me, that's the only way that we're going to survive here. We got to fight. We got to fight for more donors. We've got to fight to get our fans more educated on what we want to accomplish and how we cannot do it without our donors and our boosters and our alumni. They are our lifeline, and we've got to come up with more ways to make it more appealing to come to our football games. I think our football team is going to grow and grow and grow with Willie. I'm looking forward to it, but we need to me, it starts this fall with filling that football stadium. We got to get butts and seats. That's got to get real. Our marketing people's got to get off their butts and figure out how we get butts and seats. It's like there's a lot of ways to win a basketball game other than making shots. If we're not winning, then let's figure out how to get people in those seats. Let's make it fun to come to football games. I roll in here most mornings about 5:55, 6 o'clock. Willie Fritz's car is already here. He's already here. His kids, I see them zooming by me with those little scooters all the time. They're working, man. His football team's working. Let's support him. let's get some butts in seats. And we all have priorities that we have to take care of with our families. But if you have our programs, we sure appreciate it. But we do it for you. I know when we go to Dallas and we're playing Duke, or we're going to San Antonio playing Arizona, or we're in Pittsburgh playing Illinois, I can hear the pride in our Cougars, our to have one of their teams at a national level. And we're going to keep working our tails off to remain there, but we need your help.
There you go, your thoughts on it. Rex32, thank you as always for watching the show and for your comments and participating in the show. Rex says, Kelvin speaking from experience, being both in the Big 12 and the Big 10. Fans got to show up now and not just come after a season ticket wait list is established. Football makes college sports go around. I love basketball. I love college basketball, men's and women's basketball, but I'm not blind to reality. Football makes college semi-pro sports go around. Houston alums. I'm an alum. Keep that in mind, folks. If you're new to this show, Chris is just knocking Houston. What does he know about it? I'm a graduate, a proud graduate of the University of Houston. A long time ago, but I'm a proud graduate of the University of Houston. For years, people said, well, people did not go to football games because, well, I don't want to see us play ECU. I don't want to see us play. That's not a rival. I want to see us play teams in the state of Texas. Oh, well, we're not in the Power Four. Well, Cougs are not in the Power Four. They're not part of big-time athletics. So what excuse do you have now? Buy football tickets, and they're not expensive. Okay, they're not expensive. They're nowhere near the upper tier. They're not Longhorn prices, Aggies prices, LSU prices, Ohio State prices, nothing like that. Buy tickets. Support the football program. Go to the games. Support your alma mater, our alma mater. And I'm saying our alma mater. I am a UH lifetime member. Okay, I put my money in to do that. I have the lettering on my car, bumper sticker. So I put my money where my mouth is. Join me in doing that. Coach Fritz got a big-time verbal commitment from Keyshawn Henderson, class of 26. I think ranked 19th in that class, top athlete overall for class 26. Keyshawn is attending the Legacy Sports and Sciences in spring. The tie there, which I found out today reading the article in the Chronicle. His head coach at Legacy Sports and Sciences, Michael Bishop. Michael Bishop was a hell of a quarterback at Kansas State years ago. But his JUCO coach, his JUCO head coach, one Willie Fritz. Relationships, they matter. You never know who's watching you, who's reaching out to you. Relationships matter. Support your alma mater. Let's see, Justin, how are you doing? Thank you. He said, I told someone this the other day, UH can start doing giveaways like the other teams, with merchandise and food deals. College kids love free stuff and this kind of food as well. Marketing has to do a job. Hey, football team has to start winning, obviously, especially with a lot of fair weather fans here in Houston. There's a lot to do in Houston. I know that. Known that all my life. Winning helps, yes. But until Coach Fritz turns the program around, still support our alma mater. Marketing needs to do a better job of giving people reasons to go to the games, not just to see the football team win and play, but make them fan-friendly, fan fest, a lot of different things to get fans in the stadium, and then give them reasons with a great job of concessions, a great job of handling the tickets. Don't give them reasons. And it took hours to get my food. That first impression is crucial to the fans who have not been to TD ECU Stadium. So do a better job and keep them coming back. Stay connected with communication with them. Maintain contact with them. It's not that hard, folks. This is a football mad city, a football crazy town, high school, college, and pro. Almost 300,000 living UH alums in Greater Houston? And we cannot get 30, 35, 40,000 of them to be at TD ECU Stadium? Come on. Come on. I see it 37. I don't know about that. About Isaiah. I don't know about that. I don't think he's another Derek Queen. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just say and if you don't know what I'm talking about Derek Queen, he wasn't coming here. I don't feel that same way about Mr. Hartwell. All right. Justin says something like the first few hundred fans get a free t-shirt, bobblehead, UH paddle. Creative ideas. That's the key. Creative ideas. Creative ideas. Think outside the box. Do things to get people interested and excited about Houston Cougars football and going to TDECU Stadium. We all know it's hot and humid. We know that. Doesn't stop those Aggie fans from going to Kyle Field. Doesn't stop those Longhorn fans from going to Austin, watching those burnt orange teams. They're 100,000 deep. Come on. But regarding collective, this info, this tidbit is from On3 Sports, on3sports.com, on3.com. NIL collectives. The top funded NIL collectives are spending between $13 to $20 million annually on football rosters at the moment. $13 to $20 million annually on football rosters. In basketball, the highest spending programs are pushing $5 million. You saw K-State spent $2 million on one player. But look at that one more time. The top funded NIL collectives are spending between $13 to $20 million annually on football rosters at the moment. In basketball, the highest spending programs are pushing $5 million. That's it right there. That's why Coach Sampson said what he said. That's why Lincoln Cougs posted on social media yesterday. Coach Sampson, and I think it was a 65, what was it, Mustang? The classic red car, donated by an alum for a raffle for a way to raise money toward the Lincoln Cougs collective, the Houston Cougars NIL collective, which is linked on the uhcougars.com website. So they are tied together. They are working together. It's a collaboration between Lincoln Cougs and UH Athletics. So it benefits men's basketball, football, women's basketball, and all of the other Houston Cougars athletic programs. Rex says they can raffle off a luxury suite as a grand prize for perfect attendance. There's a lot of different ways. Get the kids, get the parents involved, because, the parents will do what they can if the kids are excited and want to do something. So you get the kids hyped, and the parents will be involved. You start them young, then you build up a lifelong relationship. You start them young, you might even have future students at the University of Houston. And they attend UH, they graduate from UH, they become alums. And you just continue the cycle over and over again. Shifting gears, we're going to talk about, let's go backwards to last Thursday. This came out roughly the same time as the private equity news that was broken and announced. But this is pertaining to the naming rights discussions between the Big 12 Conference and Allstate. Brett McMurphy was, I think, the first person to write about it. Breaking news. This is from last week, last Thursday. In case you're, yes, I'm curious about your thoughts on the name you like for the conference, for the Big 12. But as Brett McMurphy from Action Network wrote last Thursday, Mr. Tran, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for chiming in on this edition of the Houston Round Ball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. The Big 12 Conference and All-State are in discussions about selling the league's naming rights to the insurance giant, sources told Action Network. The quote-unquote All-State 12 Conference is the leading candidate for the new name, sources said, while the quote-unquote Big All-State Conference has also been discussed. The multi-year deal could earn the league between $30 to $50 million annually to be divided among its 16 league members, sources said. League sources stress this is not yet a done deal between the Big 12 and All-State. The Big 12 also is considering a financial company for its naming rights, which would pay the league slightly more than All-State, sources said. However, the league has been more engaged with All-State. While stadiums, venues, and bowl games sell naming rights, the Big 12's multi-year deal would be the first professional or collegiate league, of course in America, to sell its naming rights. It's unknown if a deal could be completed to begin for the 24 season, with the required amount of time to make changes in signage, field logos, and other items. One new concern was that the NCAA's recent decision to allow corporate logos on the field could reduce the value of a naming rights deal, a source said. Conference USA also is in discussions with companies for a naming rights deal, most notably Globe Life Insurance. New name possibilities for CUSA include Globe Life Conference USA or Globe Life Conference, sources told Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports. The majority of the 10 FBS conferences are exploring conference naming rights as the leagues must develop new revenue funds. One more time. The majority of the 10 FBS conferences are exploring conference naming rights as the leagues must develop new revenue funds. So what name do you like, Tran, Rex, Justin, CA37? Anybody else watching on YouTube? Give me your comments. I'm watching on Twitter. Which do you like more? The All-State 12 Conference? The Big All-State Conference? Or the All-State Conference? Which of those do you like? And it's money, and after a while, fans won't really say refer to it that way anyway, but whatever. Tran says, I like All-State because it's everywhere in college football. Rex says, Big All-State Conference sounds better. I really don't care one way or the other, but I'm just curious what y'all think. The Big All-State Conference, it does kind of sound a little bit better to me. I think that's going to happen. I wonder if it'll happen in time for the Big 12 football media days, July 9th and 10th in Las Vegas. That'd be a hell of a announcement, wouldn't it? Rex says people still call X Twitter. Yep. CA says need to drop the number. I kind of agree with that. Yeah. So we'll see, but I don't know. I'm just kind of assuming that an announcement might take place in Vegas, an unveiling at the football media days in a few weeks. And of course, see if I can hop to that slide real quick before I talk about some other stuff. Of course, if you did not know or you forgot, Let's Rage Cougs, Dayon Dunlap, Andy Yanez, and me will be in Vegas for Football Media Days for Let's Rage Cougs. So we're going to do some shows from Vegas, Let's Rage Cougs, Vegas style. So watch for that. Subscribe to, of course, the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, as well as Pod Slamma Jamma. Click on those bells so you can receive notifications when those shows are posted and when those shows go live from Vegas. All right. Oh, no, Justin, no problem. We can talk about that. Let me do this real quick. Rockets, I doubt they draft Jamal. Who was it? I saw Sam Bassini from The Athletic this morning had, I think, the Knicks in the second round drafting Jamal. ESPN's draft folks yesterday had the Heat drafting Jamal, both in the second round. Justin, Detroit firing Monty was inevitable. It was either going to happen now, this summer, or next summer. I did think, and Willie Gibson and I mentioned it on Folks Talking Sports on Monday, I thought when Detroit announced the hiring of Fred Vinson to the staff, that meant Monty would get one more season. Nope. I'm relieved he's gone. It just didn't work. The fit wasn't there. The writing was on the wall. Hell, before Monty got hired. When Monty said no the first time, and Detroit owner Tom Gores raised up his offer and basically made Monty Williams an offer he couldn't refuse. But it just wasn't, the fit wasn't there. And truly, watching Detroit games last season, there were just way too many times I'm wondering and thinking to myself, what the hell is Monty doing? What is he doing? Is he coaching these guys? What is he doing? So I give him credit for not tossing his players under the bus, taking a hit for his players, and when they didn't get fouls, and the foul discrepancy was massive in a lot of games. But beyond that, he had to go. He just had to go. Yeah. And he has a very nice parting gift of $65 million to go. But when you are a billionaire like Tom Gores is, ain't nothing to him. Boy, I'd love to live like that, man. I'd love to live like that, man. Initially, after the offer, wasn't it? Because I don't think Pop's deal was before Monty's. But yeah. This is on Tom Gores as well, because Monty told Tom Gores first, no. Told him no. He wanted to take a year off from coaching, spend time with his family. Then Tom Gores raised the offer. But, we'll never know. But Monty's set for life. And maybe he'll get into TV broadcasting this season. Spend time with his family, spend time with his wife, who is battling breast cancer. And we'll go from there, and maybe next year he might have to come back as an assistant coach. I'm kind of curious to see if a team will hire him as a head coach next year or two. But we'll see. I don't know. Oh, she did? Did she pass away? Really? I'm sorry to hear that, Trent. I did not know that. But yeah, he's set for life, Justin. He is set for life. All right, your thoughts on this? NCAA presents new basketball tournament models that would expand the field by 4 or 8 teams. This is from Ross Dellinger yesterday, Yahoo Sports. College basketball moved one step closer to expanding the NCAA men's and really the women's tournament too. Women's basketball tournament, men's tournament. NCAA officials on Wednesday presented to Division I conference commissioners at least 2 models of an expanded field, one with an additional 4 teams and another with an additional 8 teams. Commissioners told Yahoo Sports. Officials, of course, declined to speak publicly about the models. Rex already says football needed the expansion, basketball didn't. Tran says he's good with it. And I'll go ahead in the bottom half of the conference, Tran, bottom 4. The models would expand the 68-team field to 72 or 76 teams with additional at-large selections as well as at least one additional first 4 site. Any expansion would begin at earliest in the 2025-26 season. Of course, if the men's event expands, the women's tournament is likely to undergo a similar expansion. And even if they expand, I still don't think the Houston Cougars women's team would make the tournament. But I digress. The models would expand the 68-team field to 72 or 76. I duplicated that, my fault. But Dan Gavitt, the NCAA VP for the men's basketball championship, unveiled the models in a presentation Wednesday at the commissioner's annual summer meeting. In the culmination of months of work, Gavitt outlined possibilities for what commissioners believe to be an inevitable expansion of the men's event, a movement mostly championed by the power conferences, which Yahoo Sports reported in February. Yes, unfortunately, I agree with you, Rex, but it is unfortunately inevitable. As a way to avoid eliminating any of the 28 small conference automatic qualifiers, a time-honored and popular concept with fans like Rex 32, NCAA and conference leaders are targeting the addition of at-large selections as has been done in the past. The last expansion in 2011 added 4 at-large teams and created the first 4 in Dayton, Ohio, where 2 pairings of 16 seeds and 2 pairings of at-large selections meet in play-in games. Any new expansion to the field is expected to result in at least one additional first 4 site, perhaps in a Western time zone. But expanding the tournament by even just 4 teams is a complex issue. Officials are planning to retain the current 64-team bracket. Interesting. With play-in game winners needing a spot in that structure, space has to be made. More 10 to 12 seeds originally in the 64-team bracket could find themselves having to win play-in games on that Tuesday or Wednesday to advance to the first round on Thursday or Friday. Will the additional games generate more revenue? Not necessarily. It remains an unanswered question. CBS and Turner are not required to increase the amount in which they pay, according to those with knowledge of the contract. So this is all because Commissioner Brett Yormark, Commissioner Sankey want more of their member schools in the tournament. That's what this is all about. More teams from the power conferences in the tournament, get those units. More units for the members means more money for those conferences. We shall see. I don't like it. 72, 76, I don't like it. But it's going to happen. And just deal with it. Cordell Jefferson Trend wants to know he's healthy. His hands are healthy. Both left and right wrists are healthy. following the surgery he had, and what first one was in maybe August, and then the second one was in November. He's good to go, and he's in shape as he is. Houston Cougars freshman guard Mercy Miller arrived on Houston campus, 6'4", 195, and he looks it. He looks taller than Emmanuel Sharp, and he looks bigger, stronger than Cordell Jefferson. Young Mr. Miller does not look like an 18-year-old. Okay, as Justin sums it up better than I can. Mercy looks in great shape. So, I mean, when I saw him last Thursday at the conclusion of the Cougs youth camp. I told some of my colleagues, I was like, damn, Mercy looks huge. I was like, man. And as y'all know, as y'all follow the Cougs, it's required. He likes playing defense. He enjoys it. He likes the concepts, the defensive styles that Coach Sampson and the staff implore. So the Cougs are going to be deep. Legitimately too deep at every position. All 5 positions. They could, Coach Sampson has said in years past, and they have practiced when they're healthy, of course, 5-on-5, legit 10 deep. However, he has not played consistently in games 10 players. I think he's going to do that. He's going to do that. And I think the young men, obviously, they have to earn it, but I think they are going to earn it and show that they deserve the time on the court and they are good enough to be on the floor, on defense, rebounding, to be 10 deep this season. Juwan Roberts said last week, I haven't posted the clip yet, the YouTube short. I forgot to do it. I asked him last Thursday how his knee was doing after the surgery. He said he was good, felt great. I think I asked him if he was close to 100%. He said yes. Coach Sampson said was it the Tuesday or Wednesday Cougs Caravan this week, that Juan is the healthiest he's been since his sophomore year. So that is good news to hear. LJ Cryer was in a walking boot last Thursday. Last Thursday, he said he should be in the boot, I think, another 1 or 2 weeks. Everything is healing well. And once he gets the medical go ahead, he'll be back on the court with the team. Terrence Arsenault is close to participating in 5-on-5 competition. He's doing almost everything else that he's medically allowed to do except participate 5-on-5, coming back from his torn Achilles. We did not get a chance to talk to Jojo Tugler, but I think he's progressing well health-wise as well. So let's see. As Justin says, UH got a lot of players back. Other than Jamal in the graduates, Damian Dunn was, I think, the one, from the rotation that transferred, that left. Rex says, now we got to watch who is not going to get time. Yep. I think they're going to redshirt some freshmen. Well, I think one, Mr. McCarty, and then we'll go from there. Other than that, I'm not sure what they're going to do. But yeah, I think at last count, they had 14 players and 13 scholarships. But the roster management won't be an issue this year. I'm not worried about that at all. Rex says Juwan is going to be a great leader for this young team. Agreed. And Emmanuel Sharp is taking on more of a vocal leadership role on this team. It is part of the natural progression for not just the Cougs teams, but young athletes in college, from freshman, sophomore, junior year. The more time you spend in a program, the more comfortable you are in the program, the more you trust the coaching staff, the more the staff trusts you, and you feel like more of comfortable as a leader, and you show on the younger players, the newcomers, what the culture is all about. And Emmanuel Sharp is doing that. And he's enjoying doing that. He's taken on that responsibility and that challenge. And Coach Sampson wants E to step up, and E has accepted that, and he's doing it. Looking forward to this season. It's going to be different because Jamal Shedd, be the first time in 4 years, he won't be there. But Milos Uzan will be the point guard for the Cougs. And he said the reason he chose UH was because they win, the style of play, the coaching staff, and he believes that the staff, coaches will get the best out of him. So that is all part of the reason why Los chose the Houston Cougars, the best version of himself. Yep, Andy shouted out, Coach Sampson did shout out Andy. Yep. So the Less Red Cougs crew is gaining recognition. Coach Sampson has retweeted, reposted links to our shows, our post-game shows. Mrs. Sampson watches our show, watches Less Red Cougs show. Members of the staff watch Less Rage Cougs. The players watch Less Rage Cougs. Their parents watch Less Rage Cougs. I've had parents come up to me at home games. Let's rage. Let's rage. Y'all doing a show tonight? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We'll be watching. Let's do it on the way back to the house. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you, guys, for doing what you're doing. So, yes, Less Red Cougs is growing in popularity. And always remember this. Less Red Cougs is the original post-game show for Houston football and men's basketball. You are correct, Justin. They do indeed. Those Houston Cougars, Coach Bishop, Alan Bishop, the strength and performance coach, those workouts are a beast. Los Uzan said, he was like, woo, this is stuff I've never done before, but it makes me better. So I look forward to that. I remember LJ saying the same thing last year. Yeah, it wasn't the same thing like at Baylor. No, it wasn't. But yes. Rex, thank you very much for that. And before I forget, I got to do this. So Ben won't get upset with me. Take this quick break. Whoops, let me do this. Let me do it. Because it's the bottom of the hour, past the bottom of the hour as the show was flying by. So let me do this. Take this quick break of about 40 seconds, a little less than 40 seconds, so you to get an idea of what BS3 TV / BS3 Network is all about, because we are changing the way you watch TV. Be back real quick.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review. Takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E. Kudos to my man AJ Jones for giving me this platform on Thursdays from noon to 1 Central Time. You are, of course, watching the Takeover on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Fire TV, YouTube, where you're watching it, and of course on Roku, courtesy of BS3 TV. If you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. If you don't, just go to bs3network.com or bs3tvlive.com. Got this during the break. C837. Much love. Much love. Thank you for that support. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Oh, yes. It's easy to do. No amount is too small. No amount is too big. Support the Roundball Review. Support this show. Onward and upward, as I like to say. Even got the youngster, Mr. Yanez, saying it. Onward and upward. That's what we're trying to do. And we're going to Vegas in a few weeks for the Big 12 Football Media Day. Got plans to be in Vegas for the Players Era Festival, Thanksgiving week in November. So ride with us because we got big plans in store. Come along for the ride and enjoy the ride. I am a proud alum of the University of Houston, but I also, as everyone knows who follows the Roundball Review on all the platforms, I cover H-Town teams. H-Town, that means the Rice Owls. They made some news. Announced a signing. Let me remove the banner so give a man a little bit more shine here momentarily. PJ Carter transferred to Rice. Coach Rob Lanier in the Rice Owls men's basketball program. 6'5" guard coming from UTSA last season. Averaged 9.5 points per game. Shot 40.3% from three. Got a sniper coming to the Owls. Quote from Coach Lanier: PJ is highly skilled and brings with him a tremendous skill set. He is a strong ball handler and an elite level shooter. His familiarity with the American Athletic Conference and his overall experience gives our team a veteran presence. I think PJ is the 8th or 9th newcomer for Coach Lanier and the staff at Rice this season. So I'll be spending time over there as much as I can. Going to bounce around as much as I can between UH, Rice, Texas Southern. May have some help there with a colleague to help cover the local teams. We're going to do all that. But Tran is correct. The Cougs' first game on day one matchup in the Players Era Festival in Vegas will be against Alabama. That is expected to be a battle of two top 5 teams. So it should be a hell of a matchup. Looking forward to it. Justin says his pastor's son worked out for Rice football, a DB from Forney High School in the Dallas area. All right. Good luck to him. Justin, remember the young man's name? Good luck to him. If he's there, try to talk with him and follow them as well. I got AD Moore will be covering Rice Owls football for the Houston Roundball Review Media Group. Going to put this up as a reminder. Let me shift gears here. Caleb Holt. Ooh, I know that name. Yeah, I know Caleb Holt. Excellent. I'll tell AD about that. Watch out for Caleb Holt. It's from last week, but bring it up again. HCU women's basketball is having a fundraiser dinner on Friday, September 6th at the Marriott Sugarland. Head coach, Hall of Fame head coach Van Chancellor will be the guest speaker. The event will be a fashion show, feature a fashion show and live auction. HCU's new director of engagement, Melina Belomo, is working to enhance opportunities for the HCU women's basketball student athletes and program in the community and with our partners and supporters who will be at the event. If you would like to purchase a table or tickets for the event, please email HCU head coach Donna Finney at dfinnie@hc.edu or call 281 649 3149. Once again, that number 281 649 3149. So we're getting into the women's sports part of this edition of the Takeover. This next news was announced today. Sponsorship, advertising, revenue. Sprouts Farmers Market, one of the largest and fastest growing specialty retailers of fresh, natural, and organic food in the U.S., announced a new multi-year sponsorship agreement with the Southeastern Conference and SEC Network to be the, quote, love this, official grocer of the SEC, end quote. The deal, which officially kicks off on July 1, will surround the SEC's marquee women's sports properties, including women's basketball and gymnastics. The new sponsorship begins this week with Sprouts' presentation of a first-of-its-kind television mini marathon of SEC women's sports on SEC Network as a celebration of the anniversary of Title IX on Sunday, June 23rd. The marathon will feature top women's sports highlights from women's basketball, softball, and gymnastics championships. And Rex 37 has read my mind. I'm going to go put this up and then go back to the release. HEB gotta link up with the Big 12, even though I think it's only a Texas grocery store. Revenue. Back to it. The sponsorship includes integration of Sprouts Farmers Market on SEC Network programming and within the SEC footprint through SEC Nation. You know, Texas is part of that. The state of Texas, Aggies and Longhorns, soon enough. The network's traveling football pregame show. Sprouts will also activate on-site at SEC Fanfare at the football championship in Atlanta and will have a presence at other major SEC championship events, including the SEC Women's Basketball Championship, the SEC Gymnastics Championship, and the SEC Softball Championship in 2025. I'm going to say this, putting out there in the universe. Maybe someone is listening. It sure would be nice if Tillman, the people at Toyota Center, the Harris County Houston Sports Authority would work on bringing the SEC Women's Basketball Championship to Houston. Longhorns have a lot of alums here. So do the Aggies. So does LSU, Oklahoma. You get the idea. Women's basketball is a big deal. Bring the SEC Women's Basketball Championship to Toyota Center. Think about it. Because, goodness knows, the Houston Cougars women's team isn't good enough to warrant consideration of moving the Big 12 Women's Championship from Kansas City to Houston. Come on, Tillman. If you want to put your toe in the water of women's hoops, that's a great way to do it. Just saying. Rex said they saw last year's men's showcase last time. Bring the championship game here. The men's Final Four has been here. I think folks who kind of hurt the chances of getting the women's Final Four to Houston are gone, are no longer part of the discussion. So maybe you need to get involved in women's hoops, Tillman, again, and try bringing the SEC to Houston. Just saying. Just saying. Last few minutes of this edition of The Takeover. The Caitlin Clark effect is real. I've said it. I got viewership numbers to prove it on my Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel as well. CBS Sports presentation of the Chicago Sky Indiana Fever game is the most watched WNBA game on any network in 23 years. 2.252 million average viewers, up 225% versus last year's comparable game window, which was Phoenix against New York. The game peaked with nearly 3 million viewers. Paramount Plus delivered its most streamed WNBA game ever across households, minutes, and average minutes attendance. The Caitlin Clark effect is real. Saying all that, she still doesn't deserve to be on this year's Olympic team, but she is a hell of a talent and got a bright future. And it looks like she and teammate Aaliyah Boston have starting to click with that pick and roll, the chemistry between them, that inside-outside game. Toss in the veteran leadership from Kelsey Mitchell. It's amazing what a team can do when they have time to practice. The Fever have won 3 in a row. And I think some of those fans of the team and Caitlin Clark, who were calling for Coach Side's head, have kind of quieted down just a little bit. Winning kind of does that. Kind of winning, what is it? Who was the first person who said winning is like deodorant? It cures the stink. Yep, it sure does. And Rex is right. Aaliyah Boston stepped up too. Yeah, she's playing well. They got a bright future. Justin, see these fans, see the fans of the Houston Roundball Review. They follow women's hoops too. That's like the Houston Roundball Review. So again, advertise on this show. You reach a wide, diverse audience. You support the Houston Roundball Review. These numbers right here I didn't make them up. They didn't just come out of the sky. 5 million views on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Email to inquire about advertising. Advertise at thehrr.com. Advertise at thehrr.com. Last 3 minutes. Tran, who do you want? Oh, you don't care about the Rockets, so forget that. You want the Rockets to draft Jamal Shead. Justin, who do you want the Rockets to draft with the 3rd pick? Assuming you want them to keep the 3rd pick. Who do you want them to draft? I'm seeing Reed Shepherd, best shooter in the draft, no doubt. No doubt. I got questions about his overall defensive versatility, his height, his short arms, reach, all those things. But who do you want the Rockets to draft with that 3rd pick? Rex, Justin, CA, or anybody else watching? Who do you want the Rockets to draft with that 3rd pick? And one more time, see if I can pull it up. Thank you again to CA37 for supporting the Houston Roundball Review with that super chat donation, that contribution. Much, much, much appreciated. You can just click on that $ and support the Roundball Review shows, the Roundball Review on YouTube, like CA37 did. So Justin says he's heard
Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Monday, June 24th, 2024. Number 1. With just a little more than 4 months until the 2024 presidential election, both majority party candidates are on the hunt for black votes. The polls are not giving either side, current President Biden or former President Trump, the boost they need, especially in the battleground states with significant African American populations. Although black voters were instrumental in electing Joe Biden president in 2020, a USA Today poll indicates that support has slumped significantly. Number 2. Supreme Court justices upheld a federal law that bars domestic abusers from owning guns. In U.S. v. Rahimi, the court sided with the government. It upheld Zachary Rahimi's conviction for possessing guns while being subject to a domestic violence restraining order. In effect, the nation's highest court ruled that there are limits to the Second Amendment. It was an 8-1 decision, with Justice Clarence Thomas as the lone dissenter. Number 3. CPR, or cardiopulmonary resuscitation, is an emergency life-saving procedure performed when the heart stops beating. Immediate CPR can double or triple chances of survival after cardiac arrest. Keeping the blood flow active, even partially, extends the opportunity for successful resuscitation once trained medical staff arrive on site. CPR is a critical step in the American Heart Association's chain of survival. The term chain of survival provides a youthful metaphor for the elements of the ECC systems concept. Number 4. Kellen Lewis, a 37-year-old black man, was fatally shot by a SWAT officer in Aurora, Colorado, during an attempted arrest on May 23rd. His family is demanding a murder trial for the officer and the release of body camera footage, arguing that Lewis was surrendering when shot and was only holding a cell phone. This incident follows a similar case in 2019 involving Elijah McClain, whose death at the hands of the Aurora police led to convictions, highlighting ongoing concerns about systemic issues and the devaluation of black lives. Number 5. What is a promise? A promise is assurance that a particular thing will happen. God's promises in the Bible are just that. If he said he's going to do something, it's going to happen. He never lies, and his words never change or return void. There are a lot of promises in the Bible. Depending on the research, you may find that there are more than 3,000. Some say that more than 7,000, and some say more than 8,000 promises are in the Bible. It's Ministry Monday. Read more about God's promises in today's newsletter. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Choosing to forgive does not mean condoning the wrong done to you. It means freeing yourself from the hold it has on your emotions and well-being. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. Please join us tonight live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central as Yolanda Starks-White and I talk about today's news and headlines. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
My name is JM&E, and I won $500 on the lunch money for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.